Welcome to Helen's take on Project SDKs, language level, and JDKs. So these three things are all found in the project structure dialog. So that is Command and a semicolon on Mac, or Control Alt Shift and S on Windows. So let's take a look around. I'm on a Mac, so for me it's Command and semicolon. Again, Control Alt Shift and S if you are on Windows. Now, first things first, Project SDK. So you can set that up here. We can see that's got set to Java 16 at the moment. Project language level. Now, ideally, you would want these two to be set the same, especially if you're getting any spurious errors in your code or something's not quite right when you're compiling. Come in here and check that your Project SDK and your project language level are set to the same thing. There may be a scenario where you want to use a more modern SDK, but maybe you're only running Java 8 in production. So in that instance, you may end up with a configuration that looks a little bit like this. However, we would recommend that your Project SDK and your project language level are the same unless there is a good reason for them not to be the same. So that's where they are at the project level. I do want to show you quickly, if we go into modules, move that across. So if we go into modules, you'll see here, per module basis, you can also set these. You've got your language level here. And if you go to dependencies, you've got your module SDK. So they're in two separate tabs at the module level. So that's worth being aware of, again, especially if you're getting some strange errors that you're struggling to track down. Just come into your module level and have a look at what your language level and your module SDK is set to, because those are both very powerful features. Okay, so that is the Project SDK and the project language level in terms of how they relate to each other. Let's take a look at the SDKs specifically in more detail. So let's click Edit. Now let me move that across for you. So gone are the days where we used to only have one JDK on our machine. We are quite likely to now have several JDKs on our machines, as you can see here. Now, these are all JDKs that I have previously downloaded or I've downloaded through IntelliJ and I've used with one or more projects. Now, this is a great place to actually manage your JDKs and hopefully use a better naming convention than I have got here. If we go to the plus, add new SDK, or we can use the keyboard shortcut, Command and N, we then get this option. So we can download a JDK. So I'm going to show you that in a minute. We can add a JDK if there's one on our machine that isn't showing up here. We can add an Android Sdk. So I'm going to download a JDK. And this gives you this dialog. So you can then select your version. At time of recording, we're up to Java SDK 16, 17 is coming. So you can select your version here and then you can choose the vendor that you want to get that version from. So for example, you might want to go with Adopt Open JDK. Now you can then click download and IntelliJ will manage that download for you and configure it for use with your projects. So that's a really easy way to manage your JDKs. You can, as well as adding them, you can of course delete them from here, which is probably something that I should do looking at this list. So that is your Project SDKs, how to edit them, how to add them, how to remove them. And we also talked about the relationship between Project SDK and project language level. Ideally, keep them the same, especially if you're getting strange errors. And bear in mind that you can also configure them on a per module basis. You configure the language level on the Sources tab and the module SDK on the Dependencies tab. Okay, so that's it. I hope that was useful and I'll see you again. Thanks for watching.